Obviously, you know, energy is everywhere, and human beings are affected on an energetic level in lots of ways. When you think about the moon and kind of the energy that how that impacts on the world, you know, the tides and that kind of thing. It's kind of absolutely. So it's just another sort of kind of aspect of that, I guess. And it's the little I do understand about it is that in our homes there are kind of energy lines that may or may not impact on our lives. And so obviously we live in a home that potentially could be affected in that way, and so I was just quite interested to find out if there's any areas of our home which may be affected negatively by the energy that's around, and see if there's anything we can do about that. So come on through, this is my son Jack's bedroom.
Okay, cool. All right, well, what I'll do is I'll grid it up like I did with the other rooms.
Okay.
So
maybe I'll move on.
No, you're right.
All right.
If you just stand there, I'll just come through here and we'll just check, make sure, okay, that's clear that way. And now I'll go through this way as well. So let's have a look here. Oh, so how's he sleeping? I'll just try this way. How does he sleep?
Well, not
you
that
mentioned
great.
that he wasn't sleeping that well.
Yeah, he really struggles with getting to sleep and is quite unsettled when it comes to going to bed. So he's fine, tired, ready to go to sleep. He gets into bed and reports feeling hypo, as he calls it, and he gets quite agitated. He sometimes gets quite angry and gets up repeatedly and comes down the stairs or stands on the landing.
I can see why. You've just seen. So what's happening is every time he's going into bed, his little head is literally being tormented. It's coming right across his pillow, right across the whole upper part of his bed. So what made you choose to put the bed here?
No, I don't know really. We just put it there and didn't really think about it. Yeah, but it's clearly in not a very good place. Yeah.
Has he always been in this position?
Pretty much. He has pretty much. Yes. Yeah.
That you perhaps suspect there are negative energy.
The only thing I thought specifically, well, there was a couple of things. First of all, my eldest son Joe was kind of reporting getting sick quite a lot, feeling quite unwell, and I was a bit concerned that his bedroom may be affected by energy, because that's obviously where he sleeps, and so I wondered whether there was something that was contributing to that apart from his lifestyle.
How old is he?
He's 23.
Okay.
And then the other person in the house that I was suspected may be affected is my son Jack, who's 6 years old, who always struggles with settling to go to sleep at night in his bed, and he sort of 6 nights out of 7 would be quite content to go to bed. We'd sit and read a story and he'd feel quite settled, and then after a minute or two of it being time for him to sort of relax to go to sleep, he'd report feeling quite agitated and get out of bed and say that he couldn't sleep and that he felt hypo, as the words he would use.
Wow.
And he'd come out onto the landing and pull a face and say, I can't sleep, and we'd kind of try and encourage him to settle and talk to him and try to help him relax.
How long have you noticed that happening for? How long have you been in this house?
We've lived here for nearly 4 years now.
And was it before that he had sleep problems as well?
Well, he's always been I wouldn't call him like a really heavy sleeper. He's always been a fairly light sleeper, and when he was small, he would kind of be a little bit wakeful and at night and things like that. But I didn't really notice it particularly around, going to bed as such. And then as he's gotten a bit older, it's become much more evident. We were living in different place when he was a baby.
How many different places?
Only one, Paddington. We lived a house in Paddington.
So he was born there.
Yeah.
And he'd been in that house that whole time.
Yeah.
So the chances are he could possibly have been sleeping on a negative energy in that house as well.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Yeah. So we kind of, we've gone through like several different sort of processes, doing star charts, kind of going to bed sort of nicely kind of every night, and he get rewarded for that.
Okay, so the good news is you've got room to move the bed. Okay,
Yeah.
It's no good here, but that whole area there is clear.
Okay.
So we can move the bed from there over to here. And are you okay doing that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I definitely will be moving the bed right away. Yeah.
All right, so we can move that, and then what I'd love to be able to do is come back in a couple of weeks and just see how he's responding, whether or not he's noticed a difference, and see how he's got on.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it just makes you feel like, oh my goodness, poor little Jack, he's really been suffering because of that, and it's been difficult for him, and we've kind of thinking it's a problem with him, and it's actually not him at all.
Completely
it's to
out
do
of
with
his control.
Yeah, absolutely.
And out of yours. And
yeah.
It wasn't in your control either.
No.
So.
I'll show you what we did to the room. So if you remember,
Oh yes, of course.
the bed was over there. So literally, after just 10 minutes after you've gone,
Oh, did you move it straight
I
away?
moved it straight away. So I asked my son to help me, and we moved the bed over here, and put the the furniture and stuff there out of the way. So, and it's actually a better
Better
space
layout.
anyway. Yeah. When he came back from school, I explained to him what had happened, that you'd been and worked out that there was an energy line where he was sleeping, and I explained that we'd moved the bed for that reason, and I asked him what he thought of his new room, and he said he loved it.
Oh, how
He
good.
was really happy.
When we moved your bed, what did it feel like?
On the first night it was fine, and well, it has improved more than over on the other side.
One of the things you really notice is that when he gets up in the morning, he's in a much happier mood, and sometimes previously he'd wake up and be quite grumpy, and we couldn't really work out why. It was kind of, he's just woken up on the wrong side of the bed, as we all do sometimes. But yeah, that doesn't happen.
What happened when we moved the bed to the other side of the room?
The first night was fine, second night was okay.
For the rest of that week, you felt better?
Yes.
And you felt better in the morning?
Yes.
And you got more energy now?
Mm-hmm.
So let me just check, just to make sure that we've got it all clear. So we don't want to have any negative energy. So that's brilliant. And so where you used to have it over here,
Yeah.
let's just check to see what's happening over here. So yeah, see, this is exactly where the line was, and you had the bed here, and you had a cot here before his bed.
We did, yeah.
Was there a
So
cot?
he had a cot there, and yes, it was in the same position basically. He used to, I used to find him at the other end of the cot. And funnily enough, there's a photograph just of Jack sleeping that he particularly likes that we've got here.
Oh, where?
And it's just on the windowsill over there. That's him sleeping.
And
with
he's
his head.
pulling his little body away from where that lines were, so he knew.
If you can see, the bedding's actually at the other end of it was like a cot bed type thing, and yeah, so his bedding's at the other end, and that's where we kind of put him to go to sleep, and he's moved down
In the
to the
same
other
position.
end of the cot. And then of course, as he's old, because he's older, the expectation is that he stays in the position that you're put to bed in.
Exactly. The same thing happened with my daughter, and I didn't realise it, and I used to think she was such a messy sleeper, and I'd take photos of her because she had her legs up the wall or off the side of the bed, or she'd never be how I put her to sleep. And we know now.
Yeah, no, it's been a real revelation. It's been fantastic to be able to recognise that there is something that's that's not helpful, and that you can do something about
And
it.
it's such an easy thing to do.
Yeah,
just to move.
it's so easy, and yeah, it's made such a massive difference to us and how we feel about Jack's whole sort of sleeping pattern, and his going to bed. The process of going to bed has been so much improved. Definitely, before I went to buy any house in the future, I'd get you in to check it first.
Brilliant,
Sure.
thank you, Sally. Oh well, I'm so excited that he's sleeping so well.